Hi guys. Hope everybody can hear me on this morning. I'm going to try to get this comment in here real quick. This link that we have, I definitely stole this from John's video this morning, but it seems to encompass everything that we need in there. So I'm posting that in the comments, and that is for resources, to reach out to, and a plethora of different resources that we have. So that is there now. And I'll place you there. If anybody can't hear me, please tell me. My phone is funny when it's in the car like this. So let's hope that, you guys stay with me through it. But hi, guys. How was your morning this morning? Mine's been good. I've stuck to my routine, which is great. I can't really ask for much more. I was reflecting on things this morning, which inspired what I'm going to talk about today. But I'm really blessed. Hi, Nellie. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. But I'm really blessed, and this time has really given me time to reflect on that stuff and realize how blessed I am and how grateful I am for the things that are in my life. It's kind of brought me back to this like minimalistic lifestyle. All the extra stuff really doesn't matter right now. It's about, the relationships that I have and the fact that I'm providing for myself, at a minimum, taking care of my basic needs, my house, my cat, my food, and most importantly, the relationships in my life. And that really, gave me the fire for the talk that I'm about to do today. My word this morning out of my intention box was truth, and it made me think about like, what is my truth? Someone I'm very close with, says all the time on all of her, social media and everything else, like, live your truth, and I've really worked on doing that over the last year and a half. But over the last, month that we've been in this situation, I've really gotten down to what the basics of my truth are. I've talked about it before that for me, my truth for a long time was what I was giving and what I was doing, as far as my job or like what I provided for other people. And more recently, I've figured out that it's about me and what I'm doing. And that stems into what I provide to other people. If I'm not taking care of me, then, I'm not doing very well to take care of other people. Hi, Jake and Mo. I'm just reading what's popping up here. We're not 100, we don't get 100% of what comes through on these until after the fact. So if I missed you, it's not intentional. I definitely acknowledge that all of you are here watching with me, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you. So thinking back on yesterday when I was talking about, how powerful we are as human beings, and the knowledge of what's going on in the world. I did my nightly reflection last night, and, I think I did a pretty good job of like being aware of everything that's going on in the life or in the world outside of our current situation, and reaching out to people and really touching base with myself and where I'm at, outside of this coronavirus stuff, I feel like I did pretty well. Anybody who wants to comment about how they did yesterday, that would be great. Just to check in, keep accountability, I guess, in a way. But I was watching one of my coworkers' videos this morning, and I pulled truth, which made me think about my truth today. I was watching a video of my coworkers this morning. Hi, John, talking about you. And he made a comment about like being present, in that moment. And disconnecting for a little while. And it made me think about my truth today, and something that I've struggled with for a long time is disconnecting and being present in the moment. It's been something that I've struggled with for a very long time, inside and outside of this situation. It has nothing to do with coronavirus. This is a Keirstan problem that's been going on for a long time. I always have my phone in my hand, or I'm always on to the next task. Or I'm thinking about all these other things instead of just enjoying what is right in front of me. The people around me, especially, I care about people in my life today, and I haven't been giving them my attention, and I'm not okay with that. That's not who I want to be today. It's not part of my truth. I really want to be present, and I want to give people all of me when I'm around them. But I mean, even in the mundane tasks of my day, I want to give my cat my attention. I want to, if I'm watching a movie, I want to be present in that movie. If I'm going for a walk, I want to be present in that walk. I want to be present on the hike. I'm a person, one of my other coworkers said, we like to take pictures when we're on hikes and stuff. And I'm one of those people too. But what ends up happening is my phone is still in my hand and I'm answering messages and I'm not present. I'm not enjoying it to the fullest. So I wanted to talk about today, like disconnecting and being present in our now, in our right now. Check this comment here. Nelly, I had a very bad morning, but thanks for your advice and my cravings went from 8 to 3, which is amazing. It's great to know that people are there for you when you need it. Thank you, Keirstan, and everyone else that helped me yesterday. Absolutely, Nelly. We are all here for you. All here for you, and stay present today. Stay present today in what you're doing right now. Don't think about all of that stuff that happened yesterday. Try not to think about what's about to happen in the future. And we're going to talk about that more, and hopefully that'll help as well. Hi, David. But let me get into a couple of these readings here. And one of them is about going with the flow, and the other one is about being present. And that's my intention for today, is to be present, and if that means I have to shut my phone off, then that's what I'm going to do. And an insane amount of guilt comes with that today. Our way of connecting right now in this moment is our phone. And I feel extremely guilty when I shut it off or I'm not looking at it. I have a lot of, one of the things that I just reflected on my drive to where I am right now was how many people are in my life. How many people are in my recovery circle, in my supports, my family, my one job, my second job, my friends, all of these things. And there are so many people, so many people in my life. And I feel so guilty when I don't have my phone in my hand and I can't stay connected to each and every one of you. But at the end of the day, I'm one person. I'm one person with 65 people. I didn't count them, but throw a number out there, 65 people that I genuinely care about in one way or another, whether it's work, friendship, recovery, whatever. I actually care about how they're doing in a day-to-day. One person cannot handle reaching out to 65 people a day, and I really try to touch base with everybody every day. I go above and beyond, and there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, I need to take a step back, and really focus on me sometimes and really just be in that moment. Enjoy those little things. My self-care is important to me. And at the end of the day, if I'm not present in the moments of my self-care, then really what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm still working. I'm still, giving myself to all these other things that are not the self-care task that I put in front of me at the moment, which again looks like relationships with people, family, loved ones, Netflix sometimes, stuff like that, meditating, hiking. Those are my self-care things. And I haven't been present for them. And like I said, this is a thing that I've struggled with for years, since cell phones came about is probably, honestly, what it is. For me, it's like a distraction thing too. I can't sit with myself, so I'll just pick up my phone, and it's really become a detriment to me. So the first reading I have is from that Tao book that I had the other day. If anybody wants these, comment and I'll give you the titles and authors. But this one is the one that's about going with the flow. And bear with me, they're a little strange, they're a little outlandish, but they have a really good meaning behind them. So this is Tale 22, Going with the Flow. Once Confucius was looking down into a gorge where a great waterfall crashed down to a huge roiling chasm so violent that no fish, tortoises, or even alligators could survive there. Suddenly, he noticed an old man appear to tumble over the falls into the maelstrom. Horrified, Confucius, along with several of his disciples, ran downstream in hope of saving the poor unfortunate, only to find him strolling merrily along the bank, singing to himself. Cautiously, Confucius approached the old man and said to him, "I thought at first that you were some sort of spirit, but now I can see that you are a man of flesh and blood. Tell me, how in the world did you manage to survive that plunge into the river?" "Oh, that," answered the man, "that is simple. I merely entered the water at the center of its whirl. I let myself flow along with it, not trying to impose my will upon it. Then I left when it whirled the opposite way. It is all completely natural to me." "What do you mean by this?" asked Confucius. How can this be natural to you?" "Well," answered the man, already beginning to wander off again, "I grew up on dry land, and so I am at home upon it. At the same time, I also grew up by the river, and so am at home in the water. I don't really know how I do these things. I just do them. Therefore, my success is assured." And I like I said, it's a little outlandish. You kind of have to stretch your brain a little bit, be a little bit open-minded. But I really like that story because it really does. It gives a significance of just letting go, and going with whatever is coming at you at that moment, which I believe goes hand in hand with being present. Instead of worrying about what might happen if I tumble over the waterfall, or what, might happen if I make this decision right now, just go with it in your moment. And really go with what at your core is the right thing to do in that moment. And for me, when I've let go of things like that, and I've really, went with the flow, 9 times out of 10, I come out a lot better than I went in. I come out with a different perspective. I come out peaceful. I feel better about myself. I wasn't all anxious and worked up the entire time, worrying about this, that, and the other. Something that I need to do today is just go with the flow. Like I've said before on other videos, I have goals, sure, and I have tasks that I want to get done throughout the day. There's a lot of things that I want to get done, but at the same time, going with the flow of the majority of my day is probably the best answer for me. I know I need to I need to do some shopping later. I need to pay my rent. Okay, cool. I can do those things today. I have to go to work from this time to this time. I can do that. But I can also just, instead of filling every gap with something or worrying about what I'm going to do after work or when this bill's due or when that one's due, just take it one step at a time and go with it. It becomes a lot more natural and a lot easier, to just go with it. You give yourself a lot of peace by doing that. So for me, that's what I've found anyways. I'm a lot more at peace, and it's hard to do. It's hard to break that mentality. But like I've said about a plethora of other things that I've talked about, when I practice those things, they become easier over time. And again, I'm a work in progress. I'm sharing it with you right now. I'm struggling with this right now. I'm struggling with all of these concepts. But the more that I practice and the more that I keep continuing to do it, the easier it is. This time isn't as hard as it was last time, to recognize them and then take the action to do something different. So I really like that. And then this one is the I've Been Thinking book. And this one, I've shared too as well. I will put them in the comments for you guys. But this one's The Power of Presence. And honestly, I didn't read the entire story, so we'll see what's all in there. I just kind of skimmed it a little bit this morning, so I was running a little bit behind after my workout. But, I really think that the power of presence, it's going to be relevant either way, no matter what she talks about in here. There really is a power in being present in your moment, your effectiveness and your, impact on other people around you, and in yourself. My growth and my change doesn't happen when I'm caught up in all these other tasks. It happens when I take that time and take a step back and sit with myself and really feel those moments. My relationships don't grow by me thinking about everything else that's going on. My relationships grow by me being present in them, and actually giving my time to these people that I want to build something with. So I'll read the second one now. The Power of Presence. Let's not look back in anger or forward in fear, but around in awareness. That's a quote from James Thurber. I'm aware that my family is changing. It's been hard for me to watch Christopher, my youngest son, graduate from high school and get ready to go off to college. Yes, I'm super proud of him and happy he's so excited to be embarking on this next great adventure. But it's also been bittersweet for me. He's the youngest of 4, so his departure marks the end of an era in my life. For years, I've revolved my own life around the lives of my kids, Catherine, Christina, Patrick, and Christopher. My days have been so packed with early morning and afternoon carpool pickup times, homework sessions, sit-down dinners, runs to Staples for school supplies. My calendar has been packed with football games, dance recitals, parent-teacher conferences, birthday parties, basketball. My weekends have been joyful because my children and their friends have so often congregated at my home to do homework, play games, laugh, and socialize. I've loved it all. As this chapter of my life is winding down, I want to be incredibly present for my youngest child's final week of school events. Prom, senior class gatherings, goodbyes to all the parents and kids I've shared so much with. I don't want to miss a thing. I want to take it all in. I want to be present, really present, both for my son and for myself. Being present in the moment requires focus. At least it does for me. I find myself ruminating about the future or the past so often that it takes a conscious effort to make myself mindful of the present, to focus on the now. As Christopher's last week of high school unfolded, yes, I was thinking back over how his life has unfolded, but I promise I didn't miss a thing that was going on that week. As I watched him go to his senior prom, I could accept with my own eyes and mind that he's no longer the baby boy I held in my arms. Now he's a gorgeous, strapping young man, loved and admired by so many for his heart, his nature, and his amazing character. So I've been present every step of the way. I know I'll struggle with the emptiness that his leaving will create. I know I'll cry. But I also know that if I'm super present, the memories I create will endure and comfort me far into the future. Your conscious presence in your own life is powerful. It's a gift to be present, a gift for you and for whomever you share your days with. This has been Christopher's week. Wish me luck. Oh, and buy stock and Kleenex. I've been going through boxes of it. Family is so rewarding. Help us to keep our family first above all the demands in our lives and to create an atmosphere where we can grow in our love for one another. Bring us together as what was meant for us and help us to enjoy one another and understand one another. May joy and laughter and peace fill our times together. I actually really like that. Like I said, I just skimmed it in the beginning. So she says right here, where is it? Being present in the moment requires focus. At least it does for me. I find myself ruminating about the future or the past so often that it takes a conscious effort to make myself mindful in the present, to focus on the now. I don't know how many of you can relate to that, but I definitely can. You know, it's so easy for me and natural to think about everything else. I genuinely have to work to make myself present. And that's not like anything against me or who I am as a person, nor is it against you if you relate to that at all. You know, it's just who we are. It's what we've learned. It's what we know. But I definitely, I have to keep switching my mind over. Anytime they run away and I'm thinking about all the other things, I have to consciously bring it back. You know, which is why I say, it's not an easy task to teach yourself to be present in the moment. Meditation helps me a whole lot. Brian Quinn just popped in. It made me think about meditation. But that definitely has helped me a lot over the past few weeks. Learning how to be in the moment and kind of let those thoughts come in and go out, instead of ruminating on them and obsessing over them. It isn't easy. It really isn't easy. But again, it's about that practice and about wanting something different and taking the action to do so. I know that, for me, it's not necessarily I just wake up one day and I'm like, oh, I'm super present today. No, I have to work for it and I have to continuously work for it. As I said, this has been an ongoing struggle for me and I've tried many different ways to be more present. But it's like anything else that I talk about my life. It's an ebb and a flow. It's going with that flow. There's going to be times that I'm great and I'm present. And there's going to be a lot of times that I'm not, There's going to be times that I have to fight for it and have to really, really try to remain present and stay present in that moment. Danny popped in. I can relate. My head is 10 steps ahead. I squirrel on the day. There's a meme on Facebook that says, I don't know, I can't recite it perfectly, so don't quote me on this, but it says there's 50 tabs open and there's like 6 videos playing, the cat's playing with the string on the screen, and where's that random music coming from? And like, that's a reference to somebody's brain. And that's my brain, for sure. I can absolutely relate to that, Danny. My brain is always on hyperspeed. I'm overthinking everything, you know, and there's probably random music playing in there somewhere. I don't even know. I am insane. Absolutely. My brain is all over the place. So for me, meditation, holy crow, to learn how to meditate, you know, and I'm still not great at it. I can only accomplish like 15 minutes maybe. I started as like a 5-minute session in the beginning of this downtime. And I've progressed to the point where I can get through about 15 minutes before, you know, I squirrel out and I'm gone. You know, but that's it right there. You know, I've put in the work, and I continue to put in the work, and all of us are capable of that. You know, all of us are capable of that. And I know a lot of us can relate to what Danny just said. You know, my head is 10 steps ahead. I know a lot of you can relate to that, you know, and all it takes is practice and putting in that work every day, or, you know, every couple of days. It doesn't have to be an everyday thing. For me, I had to make it an everyday thing because I won't stick to it. You know, so I have to make like a routine for myself, which is something that I've been working on for a couple weeks now. And I've got that. You know, I wake up at a certain time, I meditate for a little bit, and then I work on setting up my readings for the day. Then I work out, then I eat, then I go out to where I go and I visit and I do that. You know, it's becoming this routine for me. And then I go home, you know, and I prepare for my night and watch Netflix and decompress. But it's taken time, you know. A lot of us like instant gratification, and that's something I have to remind myself every day of, is like, it's not an instant gratification thing. This is something that I'm going to work for and I'm going to love, you know, and I'm going to become habitual with it. But it's not an instant gratification. I can't just turn on a switch and get my brain to stop. I can't teach myself these habits overnight. Holly, I'm bummed I'm late. I'll check back in for the whole thing later. Absolutely, Holly. It's good to see you, though. I'm glad you showed up either way. But, you know, take solace in the fact that you're not alone. You're not alone in any of this, in the lack of being present, and your mind racing all the time, and about worry, anxiety, fear, none of that. You know, we all go through it. And I'm trying to show you that, you know, it is possible. It is possible. I've made so much progress, you know, and I know that all of you can too. It just takes a little bit of work. You know, if you're willing to put in the work, the possibilities are endless. Absolutely. But so today, you know, I'm going to ask you guys to try to stay present in your moment. Disconnect for a little while. It's okay. I promise you it's okay. Everybody will still be there when you come back. Just take an hour or two, you know. Brian, your brain might be all over the place, but your hair is on point. Thank you. This is just randomness that happens when I'm bored. Again, brain doing 900 things. And you can thank Nikki for the blue. She helped me out with that. You know, doing FYI, I was very safe about my hair. Did it the safest way possible. I was not reckless. I did not go out to some random people's houses. None of that stuff. We're not doing all that today. I was super responsible about it and got it done in the safest way possible, with people that I'd already seen. But yeah, so stay present today, you know, and journal tonight, and, or just reflect on it tonight, and, check in how you did. You know, practice changing your mindset when you catch yourself wandering off into the future or back into the past, and really try to hone in on whatever it is that's in front of you. In this moment, you know, it doesn't matter what's going to happen in an hour. It doesn't. It matters what's happening right now. So please, we were present in the moment when we did your hair. I'll give you that. It was pretty good. I actually didn't look at my phone a whole lot that night. That was good. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, I'm about to do the same thing. I'm going to disconnect for a bit today and hang out with some people that are important to me. And, you know, I've been in contact in quarantine with them as well. So definitely not, you know, being reckless about this, but, yeah, I'm going to do that right after I get off this video. This is my last task for the morning, and I'm going to shut down for a couple hours. And I have a meeting tonight at 6:30, so I will be turning my phone back on then. And I feel an extreme amount of guilt for that, but I'm going to do it. And yeah, I'm going to enjoy it. You know, hopefully I'm going to enjoy it. But thank you all for chiming in. I will add in the titles of the books on the comments. There's already a comment that I put up when I first started this video that has all of the resources for ROCovery, also mutual aid groups, and a couple other links are in there. Feel free to check any of that out and call our number if you need anything at all. You know, we have outreach and engagement specialists, and we are all here as well for you guys. So please reach out and remember the power that you have as a human being today. Use it. And try to be present today. And I'll check in with you guys tomorrow and we'll see how we're doing. I'll let you know how I did too, because this is hard for me. So thank you guys so much for being here, and I love each and every one of you. Have a good day and disconnect.